Okay, so to start out, I printed these two little files I found on Thingiverse for free. This AT-AT file and this Snowspeeder file. And I tried to scale them accordingly when I printed them. Using some of this insulating foam board here. You guys have seen me use this for bases before. Just getting a rough idea of the size I need. And then I cut that out. Now I can go ahead and start putting some paint on this. I used a lot of like pictures to get the colors, and it's never 100% accurate to the movie or how every reference picture is different. So I know the AT-ATs that are on what do you call it? Hoth. They're a little bit different. They're not as weathered or worn out, but I still kind of went for that look anyway, just because that's kind of how I like doing stuff. So I put a base coat on the AT-AT, and then I put a base coat on the Snowspeeder of just light gray. Then I go in with a little bit of orange, and I do the stripe on the front. And then there's this orange stripe here on the back. This is specifically the Snowspeeder that Luke was driving, because this will be the speeder that takes this AT-AT down with the cord. Then I go in with some watered down brown paint, and I paint that over the whole thing just to give it a nice brown wash, just to dirty it up, give it some grease and grime and dirt. I wipe most of that away, just so it's not completely painted, and this ends up being a little bit too dark for my liking, so I will go in after and do a little bit of lighter dry brushing on top, but this gives you a good base color with the light gray and the brown wash. It gives you like a good place to start it, and then you can kind of bring it back a little bit, and all that like dirt and stuff stays underneath, and it helps blend it all together. Everything that I do on the AT-AT, I also do the same exact thing on the Snowspeeder. And now you can see I'm going through with the same light gray, and I am just doing a very light dry brush on top, just to bring back some of that surface color. if this was like a display base that was supposed to be like indoor, I probably would just leave the brown underneath. I probably wouldn't do this top dry brush on top, just because that planet is really muddy, and this brown would kind of match the aesthetic of the planet. But since this is going to be on Hoth and on snow, I didn't want it to just be this really dark brown piece of machinery on the snow. Then I go in with a little bit of watered down black paint, and now I'm just trying to put it on some of the panel lines. This is just another weathering technique here. So this kind of simulates like oil and grime and stuff that would be collecting on these like panel lines and stuff of this piece of machinery. So then I can start working on the base. So I found online a couple recipes for snow, and so what I end up using is some school glue, some white paint, and some baking soda. The recipe I found was Mod Podge instead of glue, but glue is pretty much the same exact thing as Mod Podge. So I put some glue in, add a little baking powder, try to find something to stir it with. So basically I mix this up until I feel like the baking powder has absorbed the glue, and then I add paint almost in the place of like water, just to really start to combine it. Plus the paint, what it does is it helps like color the baking soda, because I guess the baking soda will it'll yellow out over time on a display base. So adding that white paint just helps keep it white. Even if it yellows out, you could just go back and paint it later, but the paint also helps thin it out, so that works pretty good. This is almost like the consistency of like Fluffernutter. So I did this thinking I was going to be clever. I put a blue coat on the bottom of the base, thinking that like if the snow was thin enough, you would kind of see underneath it, and you'd see like the blue hue. If you look at snow, you can see like underneath the snow is usually like a light blue, just because of the way the sun reflects off the water crystals. So I thought I'd be really clever by doing that, but you end up, you wouldn't even know it's there. So I just put this on and I just start spreading it like I'm putting frosting on a cake, pretty much. So one last thing I do here is I add a little bit of that snow mixture to the bottom of the feet and the legs of the AT-AT, just to make it look like when he's walking he picks up some of the snow on those little claws. And before that snow set up on the base, I pushed him down just to make his tracks in the snow. Then I found this. I couldn't find any of my wire anywhere, but I did find this off the bag of bread I had. What are they called? The bag twisters. I don't know. It goes on like your bag of bread that like twists around and closes it. So I just peeled that plastic coating off, and then I had this little gauge wire left over. So I glue that to this front leg here, and then I wrap that around. This is pretty cool because not only does it make it look like the snow speeder is flying, but it also is like an actual scene from the movie. So it's like a win-win for the using that little bit of wire there. So then I put a little bit of glue on the base, and then I glue the AT-AT on top. You can see that I put some tracks behind him, so it looked like he'd actually been walking. And then you can kind of move the snow speed around to wherever it looks good. So there's that, and the only thing left to do is paint the side of the base with a nice black. This really helps separate the snow on top, and gives it like a good like display color. I think a lot of like museum quality pieces will do that. They'll be like black edges and stuff. So that was kind of the look I was going for with that. So this was a build video that was suggested by one of my subscribers and my buddy Parker. So I really thank you for the suggestion. This came out pretty cool. This is not something that I probably would have done on my own, and it's pretty cool. This is always a scene that I loved from the originals, and I think what made it nice was not making it big, making it small. It was really not intimidating to make a nice display for it. So there you guys have it. There's the AT-AT and Snow Speeder from Hoth, the takedown scene, and I hope you like it. Comment and subscribe if you want to see anything else, and I'll catch you next time.